Hello YouTubers, and welcome to my channel, the Virginia Bushcrafter. And this is the channel where we focus on learning and practicing bushcrafting, prepping, and survival skills. So today guys, I am going to focus on shelter and shelter alone. So I'm going to give you this scenario. A person is going on a day hike and they have their backpack with them, a knife, canteen, and some snacks. And they plan to be out there about 12 hours. But an uneventful thing happens and they're forced to stay in the bush longer than they anticipated. So let's say that they're forced to stay there 3 to 4, maybe 5 days. What do? Well, first of all, we know that shelter is the most important thing because we have to protect our bodies from the elements of the weather, whether it is cold or hot, cool or warm. So this person that is on this day hike does not have shelter with them. What do? Well, the first thing they're going to be tasked with is making a shelter. But how are we going to do this? That person has no tarp, no paracord, because they did not anticipate being thrust into this situation. So what this person can do is make their own shelter out of nature. And this is where the lean-to debris shelter comes in. Now they can take and gather a pile of leaves and just hunker down in the leaves, but that is not a long-term solution. So what this person can do is take a tree trunk that has fallen onto another tree, or they can take smaller limbs and lean it in between the wide joint of a tree and use that as a spine, and take other branches and lie them at an angle across the spine, and these branches will be known as the ribs. And they can then take greenery or bile and put those against the ribs and cover the greenery or boughs with leaves. They have just made a substantial shelter, and they have just made a lean-to debris shelter. So guys, this is just a quick scenario. I hope you enjoy this video that you are about to see, where I constructed an A-frame debris shelter. All right, so let's take a look at that video right now. Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel, the Virginia Bushcrafter. And this is the channel where we learn and we practice bushcrafting, prepping, and survival skills. So today, I'm headed out into the bush to practice my skills and to work on a lean-to debris shelter that I've been working on the last 2 Sundays. So guys, I'm just headed up maybe 300 yards, and I'm going to make a left, and then I am going to locate my camp. So let's just take a walk with me. The weather is very nice today. As I'm headed to my camp. Okay, I am here and I can see the debris shelter appears to be standing very well. Okay, this is after 2 weeks and going through some rain. It is still standing. However, I see there are some holes that I will have to fill in here. Let's take a look at the back. And it is withstanding the rain. As you can see, here is a spot that needs to be filled in. But with a debris shelter, it requires constant maintenance. So since I have not been here for 8 days, there will be an amount of maintenance done today, and my objective today is to add another wall, and that wall will go from here to approximately here. So guys, I'm going to hang the rucksack up, unpack, and start to work. Hey guys, so if you were to stay at a lean-to debris shelter for any length of time, this is something you would have to do just to keep your lean-to secure and functional. It's to constantly add debris. The wind and the rain will remove debris, so you would constantly have to add debris. As you can see, what I've done here, I'm just filling in pockets. So, head to the other side and do the same thing. Here's one spot that needs it. One other in here. This is just called maintenance of your shelter. Okay, I have filled in all the necessary spots. It's now time to go and harvest wood to start on the front. So there is a lot of hardwood out there. Massive amount of hardwood. All right, guys, this is the wood I have harvested to start on the wall. So I'm just going to start cutting pieces. This is what I will be doing, adding the ribs to probably this portion. Well, guys, I am still harvesting wood. I have started to insert the ribs. This is just a look at the progress so far. And the tools that I have used. Here's an 18-inch saw. And of course, a nest-wing hatchet that I'm using as well. And this is the Gatorade bottle with Gatorade and protein powder. But this is how it's looking from the inside. So, it's time to harvest more wood. Come on and join me. Hey guys, this is a piece of wood that I just harvested. And I want to show you That's good tinder right here. That's going to be used to start my fire. Very good tinder. But this is the log that should complete the ribs. So it's time to saw it into pieces. Well guys, as always, it's hard but fun when building a debris shelter. Self-rewarding. So far, here is the front side with the ribs. So the next two steps will be to collect the boughs and then the leaves. But of course, this is just some tinder that is drying out because it rained yesterday. But this is the look from the inside. So let's move on to the next step. And let's go collect the greenery and the boughs, starting with that over there. All right, come on, let's do it. Well, guys, here are the boughs that are going to go onto the spine, to the ribs of the lean-to. And I harvest this with a mossy oak knife. This is just part of making a good solid debris shelter. But this shelter should last a while, as long as I come out here and maintain it. And if I decide not to maintain it and camp here, I have a massive amount of hardwood, which is made from the used in the lean-to debris shelter. So I don't know if this will be enough boughs for. I probably will have to get another batch. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is start placing the boughs onto the ribs. So let's work this for a while and then watch our development. This is the front side of the lean-to debris shelter, covered with boughs, and now ready to be covered with leaves. And as you can see from the inside, it's really beginning to look like a shelter. So guys, I am now going to start what I think is the easiest part, gathering the leaves and spreading them over the boughs, and then enjoy making a fire. All right guys, so I have gather up a pile of leaves And now it is time to dispense the leaves until the boughs. That is the first portion. That is the first portion. I will add leaves here. And as you can see, it's being enclosed. All right. Let's go and get the next portion. All right, guys, the last pile of leaves to go on the debris shelter, hopefully. The debris shelter is now complete. You look from the inside and it is complete. So guys, I am going to straighten up my camp a little bit. I'm going to get organized. And the next step will be to build a fire. But guys, what I want to tell you about this lean-to debris shelter, it will take more work to maintain it. Which means I will have to come out here to this particular location at least once every 2 weeks to ensure that the spine and the boughs are packed down. And each time I come out here, I'm going to add more debris to the shelter. So right now, we're going to prepare a fire, and hopefully we have some tinder that has been drying out so that we can make an all natural fire. All right, guys, so let's go get somewhat organized and move on to the next step. Well, guys, as you know, one thing we always need is kindling for our fire. So I am going to just quickly make some kindling. Okay, there we have kindling, which will be, some parts of it will be processed into feather sticks. Hey guys, as you know, it rained pretty heavy in Virginia yesterday, so we have a lot of moisture here, but I did let some tinder dry out. So I'm going to try to make a tinder bundle out of some of the bark that I peeled. So let me put you in focus here. Just going to do this by rubbing it together. Just try to make it break the fibers up really well. In the event that it does not work, we can always go back to our Vaseline and cotton balls. But I want to see if this has dried out enough so that I can actually make a natural tinder bundle. I'm just breaking the fibers up. Okay, I'm going to make this into a bird's nest, and then we will have us a fire. All right, guys, we are getting ready to make a fire, and as you know, we must have 5 components. Something that is combustible, ferrocerium rod, our tinder, our kindling, thumb-sized kindling, fuel, and of course oxygen. So this is a tinder bundle that was made. It feels pretty dry, so I'm going to see if I can get if it will take a spark. The spark would turn into flames, and we will go from there. All right, let's see if I can get you in focus here. Okay, we got fire that quick. So now, that was very quick. Yeah, I really did let the bark dry out. So we got a very, very quick fire. And those are shavings. So guys, just to let you know, when preparing a fire, it is always good to have all your materials before you strike that ferrocerium rod. Have your kindling, have your tinder ready, your kindling, your fuel, and of course you have your air. So that is the beginning of a self-feeding fire, because each piece of wood is abutted to each other and is crisscrossed diagonal and horizontally, so it will feed downward. All right, so this fire has started. So while the fire is building, again, I just want to tell you that this is actually part of practicing, learning and practicing. Everything is wet, but I did allow some bark from a tree to actually dry out. And it started the fire relatively quick, as you saw, I think with the second strike of the ferrocerium rod. So in the bush, you will have to make a fire. Without a fire, it's going to be very, very difficult. But again, let's just take a look at the lean-to debris shelter all the way around from this end. And I will just cross this main ridge. This is the back of it. This is the portion that will remain open, which I will use. I was thinking about using a Mylar emergency blanket, but I think I'm just going to use a large piece of 0.7 painter's cloth, a plastic mill cloth, so that I can see out of it. These are the 2 walls, and now let's take a look inside. As you can see, it is very dark. So what I'm going to do is actually turn a light on so that we can see. This is the inside of it, and as you can see, the fire will be right here next to me, and when I'm here all night, the fire will be closer. I just have to be aware of the leaves. But as you can see, I am actually in the lean-to debris. As you can see, my feet are there. I'm actually covered. So when I'm here at night, I may even have, depending on the fire, I may have the fire a little closer, but this will be my shelter, a man-made shelter. So guys, again, this is learning and practicing bushcrafting, prepping, and survival skills. And again, here is a look at the inside. As you can see at the end, there is an opening that I will also apply 0.7 mil plastic painter's cloth at that end and at this end. This was a lot of work, guys. This was 2 Sundays and a Monday, but I got it done. It will stay up until nature takes it down, but I will be coming here very often just to maintain it. But this again is a lean-to. It is now an A-frame debris shelter because it has 2 sides on it. This is now an A-frame debris shelter. And I can already feel the warmth from the fire. Spectacular. Again, guys, just notice how dark it, just imagine at night. Here I'm using a light, but I'm going to go and get some water boiling and have lunch, and I'm going to invite you guys to come and have lunch with me. Hey guys, what I have on the fire is just some water, 2 cups of water that is boiling. But as you can see, the fire is self-sustained. Again, it was made from natural material, bark of a tree, 2 strikes from the ferro rod, and the tinder bundle accepted the spark, put the kindling on, threw some fuel on there, and now we have a fire. You can even see the coals that are developing from the self-feeding fire. The meal that I will be having is just some Spanish rice. I'm going to pour 2 cups of hot boiling water into here, put some paper clips on it, let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes, or maybe 20, and that will be my meal. Something I'm trying new. But again, guys, this is the fire, that is the water that is boiling. The lean-to has now turned into an A-frame debris shelter. Hey guys, just wanted to show you my meal, and again the inside of my A-frame debris shelter. But I wanted to show you my meal, just more or less, again, some Spanish rice, and it was very easy, of course. 2 cups of water, of boiling water, and just close it for about 20 minutes. And this is my lunch. Delicious. After all of this work, it's good. As you can see, the fire is going out, but time to eat. Hey guys, as you know, when it comes to the 5 C's, one of them is cutting tools. And you can divide that, well, I divide that up into 3 components. And today I used a saw, a knife, and a hatchet. The saw, again, is an 18-inch Fiskars D-ring. It cuts on the push and the pull. That is what's so nice about it. And you're not limited to a diameter. The knife that I use is a mossy oak Overwatch. It has a clip point, sawback edge, hollow grind, very good grip, and of course I add the lanyard. I use this to help chop and slice the boughs. This is a 1095 carbon steel with a black patina, 10-inch cutting blade. This is a 5-inch Camilla knife. It is also one of the alloys is titanium, and I use this to prepare feather sticks and kindling. It is a straight back, hollow grind, and again it is steel with titanium in it. And the hatchet that I use is an S-Wing Sportsman hatchet, 13 inches, 3-inch cutting blade, convex grind, hammer on the back. It did its job. So guys, again, when you come out into the bush, you want to have the proper tools, especially when it comes to your cutting tools. Definitely have a saw, a knife, and a hatchet. Guys, when building a pit for your fire, you always want to use, if you don't have a digging stick, use a shovel. The shovel has a saw edge as well as a chopping edge. This is the shovel used to make the fire pit. So guys, when you come into the bush, equipment is imperative. As an assistant in walking, staff walker. Many functions to keep 2 points of contact on the ground at all times. It allows you to as you walk, no snake, no puddle. It's a great tool. Can be used to ward off wildlife if necessary, as well as a defense mechanism. An A-frame debris shelter. Okay, YouTubers, my mission has been accomplished. 3 weeks of working on a A-frame debris shelter. Total time is anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. I want to thank you all for coming in to spend some time with me on this journey. Remember, guys, like father and son, mother and daughter, human in nature, we are all akin in some form or fashion. Get out in the bush and have some fun. This is the Virginia Bushcrafter. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. That video was the conclusion of an A-frame debris shelter that I constructed. It was a 3-week process, 2 Sundays and a Monday. Total, I would guess that the total time was anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. It was a hard job, but it was a lot of fun and very rewarding. There are 2 prior videos that I made that are focused on the lean-to debris shelter. The first video just shows the back wall that was constructed for the lean-to debris shelter. The second video shows walls that was constructed at the very top of the lean-to debris shelter. And as you have just seen, this third video shows where the lean-to has been modified to an A-frame debris shelter. Now these shelters are very well insulated. They will keep you warm as well as allowing you to stay cool. This is a shelter that I would not advise to make in an emergency for a short period of time. This is more or less, in my opinion, something to use for more than 1 day, more than 2 days, possibly 3 days, because it is a solid shelter. So guys, the A-frame debris shelter that I constructed will require maintenance. Every week or every other week, I will have to go there and add more debris to the shelter. So guys, I just wanted to show you this video and take some time out to check out the previous 2 videos of the lean-to debris shelter. Again guys, bushcrafting, prepping, and survival is more or less shelter, water, food, and fire. But within those 4 components, there is lots of intricacies dealing with water, sourcing water, filtering and purifying water, having enough food for your length of time there, and knowing when to start foraging food. And of most importance is being able to make and maintain a substantial fire. So thank you for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. I definitely appreciate your support. So this is the Virginia Bushcrafter. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.